All right. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Damn Show on the Critical Blast podcast. I'm your host, Damascus Minsmeyer. Our regular host, RJ Carter, is off on a mission to Mars to help his long lost twin brother, John Carter, battle evil Martian overlords. Don't worry, though, he'll be back soon. And in the meantime, I'll be interviewing N.R. LaPoint, editor and contributor of the recent Miss Creek publishing anthology, Rock and Roll Mercenaries. For the next hour, we'll be talking about writing, music, and just what exactly constitutes pulp rock. Nice to have you as a guest tonight, Nate.
Thanks for having me.
My pleasure. Um, I always like to start my shows with this introductory question, which is who are you, what do you do, and why do you do it?
I am the not so secret president of Miss Creek Publishing. I write largely really off the wall adventure tales, and I've edited 3 anthologies now. Rock and Roll Mercenaries is the second of them.
Oh, cool. What are the other two?
Swords and Maidens came out a couple years ago, and then earlier this month we published Miss Creek Tales, which is doesn't have so much a theme other than I wanted contributors to give me things that kind of harken back to old pulp and weird tales, and what they gave me was gold, honestly.
That's excellent. And you've had some stories in the. I first became acquainted with your work in the Shoot the Devil series.
Oh yeah,
So, shout out to Eric Postma, by the way. From
oh yeah, Eric's
Prescription.
great.
Yeah, awesome dude. But I first became acquainted with your work there, and I can definitely attest that it is. I don't want to say it's not like it's not bad crazy, but it's wild stuff, man. You got. I remember there was one in the first Shoot the Devil book. I think it was. It was like a western, but it was like wild. There was like psionics and like psychic powers and like steampunk and all sorts of stuff going on in there. I loved it.
Thank you. I'm actually finishing up editing a collection of stories based on that character right now.
Oh, cool. Oh, I'd be interested in reading that. That was really good. Oh, and here's looks like
There's
Michael
Mike.
Gallagher. Hey, another contributor to Rock and Roll Mercenaries, Michael Gallagher. Hey, Mike, what's up? No, the audio not working. All right. Well, I'll keep talking to Nate
Yep.
while the audio issues get fixed. Well, you're the editor of Rock and Roll Mercenaries. Tell us what the anthology's mission statement is and how you came up with the idea to center have a music-based pulp anthology.
All right. Oh, the germ of this actually started the day I found out that Meatloaf died.
Oh,
Um,
really?
yeah. So within that week, because I was listening to a lot of Meatloaf at the time, and then all of a sudden, wham! Uh,
Hmm.
so it just got into my head like, it'd be really fun to do like a tribute sort of thing. So I was mulling that over, was talking to a few other guys who were kind of interested. But then there was a question of like, are we going to run into like legal issues if we're like explicitly doing a tribute to a specific artist? So it got shelved. But then it came back to it just because I had the story in the back of my head that wanted to be written down, and I couldn't get rid of it. Uh, so I revisited the idea, and I knew that Alexander Helene had done his pop rock anthology, which I've heard good things about. I've not read it yet though. Um, so I ended up doing a an open call for uh, like pulp adventure stories that were influenced by like rock and roll, whether it's a specific song or featuring rock and roll like as a central theme to those stories. So that's pretty much the genesis of that idea. I did actually send an invite to Alexander Helene, but I had not heard back from him.
Let's see. That's a pretty interesting backstory there. And Mike, is your audio working? Doesn't sound like it. Still not. Guess not.
Oh, he's
Keep
got the
trying.
mute. He's got it muted. I can see it says muted.
Okay, you have to unmute it. We've had this happen before a couple of times. RJ might be able to help him out. I don't know. Anyway, Nate, you contributed a story to this anthology also.
Yes.
Tell us about your story in this. Tell us what it's about and how the idea came to you.
Oh gosh, I'm not even sure how the idea specifically came to me. I kind of pitch it at when people ask about it as if John Carpenter and Jim Steinman wrote Contra. So it's starts at a rock concert where this demon bug monster like bursts out of the floor and starts killing the audience and band members, and the singer and the lead guitarist are the two surviving members, and a young woman gets kidnapped by the monster who runs off, and these two band members decide, oh well, we need to rescue her, so they take off after it, and then it gets crazier from there.
Yeah, I like the remember the name of the story was Heavy Metal, and I
Yes.
like the. If I remember correctly, there was like the old like Asian, like wizened Asian kung fu master was in that story, if I remember correctly. Uh,
Yes, who helps them to forge weapons.
yes, I really like that. That and that story and Michael's story actually had some similarities to it, and then there was like a big like throwdown at the concert between
Oh yeah, yes, concerts
demonic
going wrong.
forces. Yeah, yeah, concerts going wrong. Does your audio work yet, Mike? I think you can hear us, but you can't. You can't. We can't hear you. Oh no.
If he had a pad of paper, he could like write things down and hold it up in front of the camera.
Yeah, no kidding. Actually, let's see. I might have a pad of paper here somewhere. Hang on a second.
Have you tried hitting it with a hammer, Mike?
Can you hear us? I don't know. I feel like I'm on Gilligan's Island trying to communicate through like smoke signals. Anyway, let's see. I liked Michael's story. Actually, got top honors in my review. His
Oh
was
yeah,
called yep. His was called worst live show ever, and I loved it. It had this it was the most musically oriented of all the stories, and there was such an authentic ring to it,
oh
and
yeah.
I really liked it. Really, you could pick up on you could pick up on it was like someone who had lived the lifestyle. And my next question to you, Nate, would be: have you ever been in a band? Was there was a
Not
bit of an
not
authentic ring to
really.
yours too?
Honestly, since like late grade school, I always wanted to be, but there was never the opportunity, and people that I knew that played instruments in high school were some of the most unreliable people. So it just never happened. So the closest thing I've gotten to being in a band is making the soundtrack for this anthology.
That's cool though. I do that whenever I write a story. I always make like a little soundtrack for it. Also, I think the
Oh, cool.
closest I ever got. Oh man, I did artwork for a band when I was in high school. Oh, hang on, hang on. I got the CD.
Oh, nice.
Found it. This. It was an old. They were a new metal band that was around for about 5 seconds, called
Ah,
Hollow Aggression. And I did the artwork. I did the interior art. I was like 17 when I did all this, and we were all in like high school at the time, and that was about as close as I did. I did all their flyers. I did the CD, and that was as close as I ever got to like being in a band. I was like a proxy member because I was like the artist for them.
right.
But
That's could though.
yeah, it was close enough. It was close enough. But I always wanted to be in a band, but I didn't really kind of like you said. I don't want to say musicians are unreliable, but yeah, nothing ever really like stuck together as I was if I was trying to make stuff musically. Plus, I was kind of a loner, so that didn't work out.
Oh, same here.
Yeah, I think that the writer thing, though, isn't it? I mean, we entertain ourselves with the characters that we have in our minds. Those are the people we're closest to. It sounds crazy, but other writers know what I'm talking about. What is it about music that you think is such an integral part of the human experience?
Uh, oh gosh. It it kind of just goes back to the fairly obvious phrase, "You are what you eat."
Hmm.
Um, it's like the type of art you like partake in and consume, like helps shape you. So I mean, if you're listening to stuff that's really like dour and miserable, that affects you. If you're listening to stuff that's upbeat and uplifting, like that's gonna put you in a different mindset. Uh, it's like for me, like I've been listening to a lot of power metal for the last couple years, which is generally just really melodic, really uplifting, positive, and a lot of the lyrics deal with like I like my degrees in history. So a lot of
Hmm.
these power metal bands like will have like historical songs or like in the case of Sabaton, the entire career based around it.
Yeah, I like power metal. I once got in an argument with someone over whether Judas Priest was hair metal or power metal. I was like, no, seriously, they are power metal. Okay, they're not hair metal. Hair metal is a different thing. Hair metal is like Motley Crue and Warrant and like that
Oh
kind
yeah.
of thing. And I was like, no, Judas Priest. Aside from the fact that Rob Halford's bald, okay, it's not hair metal. He's got that. Well, he's got like the strong operatic vocals, which is like that's like a key thing with power metals. They got the strong vocals.
Hmm.
So, but I really I loved all that stuff too. Oh gosh, what do you think Falconer is? Is Falconer thrash or power metal?
I'm not actually familiar with them.
Oh man, you're talking about historical, and they have this great song called Royal Galley. Look that up. You'd like that. It's
Okay.
but they've got great historical lyrics too.
Okay. I'll try to keep them in mind.
All right,
But no,
but
Judas
yeah,
Priest. Judas Priest is actually one of my favorite bands, and
oh,
my story is actually
love
named
them.
for one of their songs.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I was just listening to them earlier today because I was working on the story on this story myself, and I wanted to include these two characters walking into a bar. I referenced Hellbent for Leather because it's like these bikers in the back of a bar, and I was like, what's like a good biker song, you know? And it's like Judas Priest, Hellbent for Leather.
Yes.
But yeah, I love Judas Priest. It's one of my favorite metal bands of all time, right there.
Oh, easily. I have this great memory of I introduced my kids to them, uh, breaking the law, and
Oh,
like 2 weeks later, I start taking out the trash, and I hear one of
mhm.
them just going, breaking the law," and oh man, that's gonna stick with me. I just about died laughing. Like 2 weeks later, and it just like got into his head.
Oh, that's awesome though. That's awesome though. You're like passing it on to the next generation. That's how it works. That's the way it's
Oh yeah.
supposed to work. But yeah, that's a, oh man, that is classic. What's your favorite Judas Priest album? Like if you had to pick one,
Oh, Painkiller.
Painkiller, definitely. That is such a good one. I like that. I like
Both of those.
if I'm going with like old school Judas Priest, I'd say like British Steel. That's a classic. But definitely Painkiller is my favorite. That has like I mean the song Painkiller too. What I love
Oh
about that is that it has two guitar solos, not just one. Like you think the epic guitar solo is already over. Nope, here comes another one.
yeah.
So how exactly do you define the term pulp rock? Because that's the subtitle of this anthology is a pulp rock anthology.
It's just simply a combination of like pulp adventure and rock and roll.
That's good. There's a aspect to this book that is similar, I guess, like a kind of a mission statement that's similar to the Shoot the Devil books, and that it's very focused on like positive aspects of horror and science fiction, as opposed to lately. There's been a lot of, I guess you could say, negative or nihilistic sentiment in horror and science fiction. Um,
Oh yeah.
what aspects about the current state of genre fiction in general do you enjoy, and what are some things you think could be improved?
Well, just what you talked about. Like, there's uh, a large focus on just that sort of nihilistic bent, and just the kind of like the '90s snarkiness that's kind of bled into modern day, where everything's just not it's not taken seriously, and if something's like positive, it's viewed as like childish or corny. And I think that needs to change. Because if you look at this anthology, like there's like very serious dark things that happen, but it's not all like hopeless and dreary. I mean, look at like
Sure.
Mike's story. Like Mike's story,
Right.
that story is kind of brutal, and like you're left with a smile on your face after that one.
Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of humor in that.
Oh
I
gosh,
really
yeah, Mike.
loved one thing I loved about Mike's story was like all the characters have like their like code names in the band, and then he like he tells everybody his real name,
Oh
and they're
yeah,
like all these like they're like something like, oh, this is I'm in Furnace, and his real name's like Ralph
yeah.
Jackson or something like that. It's just like, oh my god, I love that because that is like such a metal thing right there. Because because I read this assessment once about metal, which is everyone either in on stage or in the audience or listening is either a nerd or a burnout or both. And there's some kind of truth to that, like there's a little bit of geekiness to metal. And you don't hear a lot of metal fans say that because they want to be taken like seriously. But it's there. And I love that aspect in Mike's story that you got to see that silliness of it.
Oh yeah, one of my
But
favorite things about it was the sort of running gag about the punk band that was, for whatever reason, kept this like metal battle of the bands, and they're like the ones that actually had talent, and nobody wanted to admit
yeah,
it.
that's right. Okay, let's see. Yeah, science fiction, because your story incorporates your fiction has incorporated science fiction elements also. Um, it that genre has become kind of stagnant in the 21st century, I think, which I find ironic because there was a lot of visionary science fiction from the 20th century focused
We
on
froze up.
depicting the 21st century as a very vibrant place, and yet 21st century sci-fi is very kind of I don't know tepid. But what do you think? Do you think the sense of wonder has gone out of science fiction?
I'm sorry, you were roboting a lot.
Oh,
I didn't quite
I was
catch
going
that.
to say, do you think the sense of wonder has gone out of like science fiction, like, or is it something that can be brought back? Am I still roboting?
I think the roboting might be over. You're asking if
Okay.
the sense of wonder has gone out of science fiction?
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely think so. Like one trend I've noticed that I don't like is the like
Oh,
magic
that's a good idea.
equals science. Like just the very strict like this is a magic system, and uh, that doesn't do it for me at all. Like if you're gonna have magic, I'd rather it was something that you
Fantasy.
can't quite grasp.
Yeah, RJ brought up a really cool idea. Have you thought about doing an anthology where each title of a story is actually like a title of a song, like base the story around like the title of a song? That would actually be really cool. That's a pretty good idea.
That was the original concept for the Meatloaf tribute.
Oh, was it?
Yes, that's why there's a couple holders for holdovers from that and submissions ended up being good that are were based along that, which is why you have uh, Dead Ringer for Love and Bad Attitude.
Oh, cool. Let's hop in the DeLorean and go back in time. What kind of kid were you growing up? Like, what kind of kid was like N.R. LaPoint growing up?
Mostly a loner, honestly.
Yeah, me too.
Uh,
Definitely.
was big on reading when I was younger. Ran out of time to do it in like high school and college, and got back into it after college.
What books and specific authors had an impact on you growing up?
I remember like I think in like was it fourth or fifth grade I read The Hobbit for the first time, and that had an enormous impact on me because I just wasn't familiar with anything quite like that at the time. Then I somehow managed to read The Lord of the Rings, which I don't know how I did that at that age because it's not the easiest language. Like I just read that thing to my kids, and well, they picked up on it, but I wasn't the brightest kid.
Hmm.
But and back then, I was also reading a lot of the Goosebumps stuff. So kind of tiptoeing into the horror.
I had
Uh,
some goosebumps. I also loved scary stories of telling in the dark. Those were a big one when I was like a little kid. What films had an impact on you growing up? You mentioned John Carpenter as a like the feel to your story in this book.
oh god, John Carpenter has been a huge influence on how I think about media. Like my favorite movie of all time is Big Trouble in Little China.
I love that. I still have my VHS copy of that movie from
Oh,
way back. That is my
nice.
favorite John Carpenter movie.
Yeah, I
That is just such a that is such a wacky, wild film. Just got like that's like everything in the kitchen sink thrown into that one. It's got horror, it's got kung fu, it's got comedy, it's got like it's almost like a western in some ways.
yeah, it's
Um,
there's nothing quite like it. It's
mm-mm.
yeah.
It's all on the reflexes. Oh man, I think my favorite part though is like towards the end when like the final fight starting and like Jack Burton he's like let's go and he points the machine gun up like shoots and then like the rock falls down and knocks him out and then he's like out of commission for the rest of the fight.
Oh yeah, just
uh,
it's such an absolutely brilliant movie.
the other thing I love is it kind of inverts like the heroic like trope because actually like Wang is actually like the hero of the story,
Oh yeah,
but Jack
he's the
Boone is
main
like the
character.
sidekick. Yeah,
Yep,
yeah. He's the hero of this story, but Jack Burns the main character. So you think he's the hero, but he's actually the sidekick.
yep.
That's what is so brilliant about that. Is Jack Burton's he's just the side guy. Oh, but man, one of my favorite lines like the was it the hell of a thousand the hell of a thousand fires or something like that. He's like, what's that? He was Chinese of a lot of hell. Oh man. But yeah, I can pick up on that vibe in your story. Kind of that crazy sort of John Carpenter vibe going on. Absolutely.
Yeah, like that, the Thing, In the Mouth of Madness,
They live.
Assault on
Yeah, they
Precinct
live.
13. Yeah, like that. Uh, it's quite the filmography.
Mm-hmm. Printed Darkness. That one's crazy too. That one's like just crazy weird. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on there too. There's like physics. There's like physics. There's like religious stuff. There's like science. Like all kind of just blended into one thing. What led you on the road to becoming a writer? Like, what was it that made you say, you know what, I want to do this?
Um, Actually, a very odd thing when you consider what I write. Uh, in college, I had an art history professor that got me thinking about philosophy a lot, and the idea of uh, like doing art that is worth doing, and how do you examine that? How do you figure that out? And then I read Dostoevsky, uh, which got me thinking of like, okay, well, this guy is writing something that was definitely worth writing. I want to write, and so I started writing. It took me actually, I think I recently told somebody I ended up deleting like 3 manuscripts because what I was writing was trash, until I wrote something that was actually decent, um, which is strange. You think like one of my biggest influences on writing was Dostoevsky, and here I'm writing bonkers, like, adventure/horror fiction.
I think every writer has that, those first few manuscripts you write. Like every writer has that like 600-page like monster manuscript that you write when you're like a teenager or you're in your 20s, right? Everyone's got that. It's like terrible. You do not want to show that to a publisher. You don't even want anyone to read it really because it's going to be bad.
Oh,
And you're
yeah.
putting all the influences. For me, I worked on it twice. I had one. I wrote it when I was a teenager. Uh, Rewrote it. It was like 600 pages. I rewrote it when I was in my 20s. Awful. I have a copy of it on a disc, but I let a couple of my friends read it, but I never sent it anywhere because I knew it was bad. But they're like training grounds.
Oh, yeah.
That's
I
how
I
you
for
like learn how to write.
I forget who
That's
it
how you
was that
learn
said
what
it, that,
works.
they said, yeah, there was an author who was, pretty well established, who said something to the effect of, like, "You need to write 500,000 words before you write something good."
Yeah,
And that's actually
probably.
what
Probably true.
that's about what I did. So, yeah, I kinda took that statement to heart because that's, pretty close.
I didn't have anything published until I was like in my 30s. So, because most everything I wrote was like pretty derivative. But I think again, that's sort of like a common thing too. Because when you're young, you're like the sum of your influences, and you're just pouring everything into your story, whether it fits or not. You're like, well, this is cool. Well, that's cool. I love that in that movie, or that's awesome. It's going in there. What was it that made you want to be like a publisher as opposed to just being a writer? And what made you want to take the reins?
That came about largely because of, other small publishers going under. At first there was, Superversive Press, which my second novel was picked up by them, and then, like, 24 hours later, I was told they were going under.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so that was a huge bummer. And then Silver Empire went under, and so, like, there wasn't a whole lot of other publishers, like, getting things out. I mean, you get the self-publishers and, they do it well or small or whatever. But for like anthologies and stuff, you kind of need somebody to take the reins and figure out the logistic kinds of things and edit it and make it look good.
True.
So I kind of wanted to step in and see, like, okay, I really like these guys. I want people to read their stories, and so eventually I got wheels turning to do the Swords and Maidens anthology.
How long's Miss Creek Publishing been around? How long you been doing that?
Uh that that anthology was sort of The jump start, I can't remember if that was the first time I used it or if I had used it with my third book. Just gonna look at the see if I can find the date on when it was published, and it's not coming up. Here we go. Swords and Maidens was published in March 21st of 2023.
Okay.
So not a super long time.
Yeah, long enough for you to learn, though. I mean, that's like there's always a learning curve with those kind of things, but
yeah,
I think you're doing pretty well.
Yeah, there was some bumps with that one, which is why I hesitated for a while to do another one. But then my copy editor and I really honed our system, how we work, and so these Rock and Roll Mercenaries and Miss Creek Tales were really smooth coming out.
Who did the cover to Rock and Roll Mercenaries? I really like the cover of that book.
Oh, thank you. I that's hand painted by me.
Oh, that's really cool. I actually really like that.
Oh,
I like how the characters are standing there and the instruments. Those are really awesome. So kudos to that. That was very, very good. That was impressive. I like that. Okay, my favorite part of the show, the second half of every show I do, is what I call the lightning round of nerd questions. This is almost kind of like free association, where you just basically, I ask a question and you say the first thing that comes to your mind.
Okay,
And
I'll see how well I
really.
do because I'm kind of slow.
No. Okay, first question. You all-time favorite movie?
Big Trouble in Little China.
Excellent. I love it. Love it. I could go on. We could get a whole show just out of that.
Oh yeah.
Because you got I remember when I was a little kid and the first time I saw that movie, like the that Sasquatch creature thing like freaked me out.
Oh,
and then when it was like on the truck at the end.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons I hesitate to show it to my kids yet.
Yeah, it is kind of scary there, that thing. And I like Lopan when he's like shriveled up little old Lopan in the wheelchair, and he's like, I don't know what it is, just the way the guy says it. He's like, see, that really pisses me off. I don't know. Oh,
that guy's good in everything.
Oh yes. All right. Favorite horror movie?
Ooh, that is between In the Mouth of Madness and The Thing.
Oh yeah.
Typically, I say The Thing. But like the more I've been thinking about In the Mouth of Madness recently, it's like I kind of need to watch them both and see which one beats the other out.
Yeah, I think The Thing, Prince of Darkness, and In the Mouth of Madness are what John Carpenter referred to as his Apocalypse trilogy, if I remember correctly.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I think so.
The Thing, man. The effects in that movie, Rob Bottin's special effects in that movie. That movie's like 40, that's like 40 something years old. You watch that, practical effects, no CGI, the head coming off of that, and crawling away. It's like, wow, how the hell do you do that, man?
That movie was at least 5 years ahead of its time with the special effects. It's amazing.
Definitely. Tanked at the box office, by the way. That movie, classic, amazing movie. No one got it when it came out. Like no one even understood it.
I mean, that's kind of how it went for his career.
True. Yeah, kind of. Because that movie came out and it was panned by critics. Nobody went and saw it. It almost ruined his career. And nowadays, total classic. Everybody loves it, and for good reason.
Yeah.
All right. Favorite guilty pleasure movie? You know, the one that's not so good, but that you love anyway.
See, I don't have any guilty pleasures. Let's see. I guess the closest thing that might fall into that is Voyage of the Rock Aliens.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen that.
Oh man, JD Cohen, who's one of the contributors, like I think it was he who mentioned it. Like offhand conversation, I checked it out and I was just amused through the whole thing. It's so bizarre.
Oh, is it like one of those so? Is it like one of those so bad it's good movies like Troll 2 and like
No, it's just
Over?
kind of a goofy musical. Like these aliens come to Earth and things happen. It's really hard to explain.
uh, okay, favorite TV show all time.
Oh man, that's a tough one. Um, TV show. Are we talking live action or like anything goes TV?
Anything goes, really.
Okay. Gosh, my first thing to mind, Girls in Panzer, the anime.
Hmm, interesting. I've been rewatching. Lately, I've been rewatching the TV show Gargoyles, the old cartoon. I used to watch it when I was a kid. I haven't seen
Oh
it
man,
since I was.
I
You
love
like
that
that
as a kid.
one?
Love that one as a
Yes.
kid.
I have not seen them since I was a kid. I recently just started binging, and I was like very pleased that it actually holds up really, really well.
Oh
And I
yeah,
was like,
a lot of those cartoons from the 80s and 90s are like hold up amazingly well.
hmm the other one I love from that era that I watched, Batman the animated series. Still my favorite interpretation of Batman ever was that.
Yeah, a lot of people hold that, and I think they're right.
Let's see. Well, just out of curiosity, what would be like your favorite live action show? If you had to pick.
Live action show? Gosh. Right now, I've actually been I just discovered the Super Sentai, and I've been
Hmm,
watching Deca Ranger with my boys, and I've been enjoying that more than any other like live action show that I've ever seen.
pretty
Like we're only
cool.
like 10 episodes in, and it's I've said numerous times that it's peak cinema.
Hmm. All right. So we've talked about music being like a key to this anthology. So if you had to pick your five favorite musical artists of all time, what would they be?
Oh man, you're asking the tough questions. Off the top of my head, let's see, musical artists. Judas Priest.
Yeah.
Um, I'm gonna kind of cheat and say Jim Steinman. Um, let's see, Ash. Uh, say Sabaton, and oh man, this last one's gonna be tough. Yes, I don't have a list or anything in front of me right now. Um, oh, man, what would that fifth one be? I'm tempted to. I'm okay off the top of my head. I'm just tempted to say Stan Bush.
Okay. That's pretty cool. We were talking about power metal earlier. I was trying to think of some of my favorite power metal bands. There was a band called Jag Panzer that I really like. Um, let's see. Iced Earth. They were pretty good. Of course, Judas Priest. That's one of my favorite.
Darkmoor is excellent, as is as are Freedom Call. If you haven't heard either of them,
Oh, cool. Okay, let's see. Favorite food.
uh, sushi,
Oh, ooh, interesting. Favorite junk food.
the jalapeno cheddar Cheetos.
Oh, oh, that's making me hungry just thinking of that. Okay, what was the name of your first pet?
First pet, oh gosh, I'm trying to remember. Very first pet. Yeah, I'm drawing a huge blank. I haven't even had very many pets. So that's man, what was the first one? Oh, you know what? The earliest one I remember that was specifically mine was a chinchilla that I named Alf.
Oh, cool. I love that show when I was a kid. I used to watch Elf
No,
all the time.
ELF. ELF.
Oh, ELF. Okay,
Yes.
that's cool.
No, but I also grew up watching Elf. I think my dad had a bunch of episodes taped off a cable on VHS or something.
Oh, that's cool. Okay, first celebrity crush.
Lacey Chabert.
Oh yeah, I remember her. I remember her. That's cool. Okay, I think mine was Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Yeah.
Still Sarah Michelle Gellar. Doesn't even, like doesn't hasn't changed. Okay, here's one. Hollywood options your story from Rock and Roll Mercenaries for a movie. Who directs, and which actors would you love to see in the lead roles?
Oh gosh. Let's see who directs. Let's see, is Sam Furstenberg still around?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Yeah, see, like the directors I'd pick are the ones that haven't like directed anything in years. Um,
John Carpenter.
yeah,
He could
John
direct it.
Carpenter. Yeah, that would be great. But I think he's well and truly retired.
True.
So if he's not available, Sam Furstenberg. If he's not available, gosh, I don't know. So I haven't watched like new movies like a lot, like dedicatedly in a very long time at this point. Let's see, starring. Let's see. Well, there's two main characters, and let's see who. Man, my knowledge of actors is trash these days. Um, I mean, I think James Hong's still around to play the master.
Yeah,
So
that would be
that
fun.
would be perfect.
That would be good.
Um, Man, I'm drawing an absolute blank as far as like the like modern like male leads. Uh, I guess if I could pick like anybody and like do like a time machine thing,
Yeah.
for the two leads, I'd say David Bradley and Michael Dudikoff.
Oh, oh, I used to love the American Ninja movies with Michael Dudikoff.
Oh yeah, I love all five of those.
hmm I used to watch them. I used to watch those all the time as a kid.
I didn't discover them until recently, again because of JD Cowan,
hmm
which we haven't.
But those are
Which
really good. Those are
what's that?
really, really good movies. American Ninja movies. Those are
Oh
really,
yeah.
really good. Okay. If you were a superhero, what would be your code name, your superpower, and who would be your arch nemesis?
um, oh gosh. Man, I have not given like superpowers a thought in a long time either. Um, that doesn't help that like I was watching a lot of like My Hero Academia, which just kind of outdoes like anything I could have possibly come up with in the general superhero genre.
That's a good
Um,
show. I like that show.
yeah, yeah. Um, I guess I could just I'll steal the superpower from my book Gun Magus, so I can turn anything into a firearm. Um,
Oh, that's good. I like that.
um, Actually, I might as well just take the title of that book for my uh, superhero name then. Uh, as far as arch nemesis, what would be a good arch nemesis for a guy who could turn anything into a firearm? Uh,
Um,
Anti-ballistic man.
yeah, there we go. That's pretty good. You're talking about My Hero Academia. What other animes do you like?
Oh man, Chika the Coffin Princess is a favorite. Um, uh, Yu Yu Hakusho I recently watched. I love that one.
That's a good one.
Pokemon. Uh, I started rewatching Bubblegum Crisis Tokyo 2040, and that's been a lot of fun. Gosh, what are some other big ones that?
I was talking with someone. I was talking with someone recently. I love Cowboy Bebop. That's one of my favorites.
A lot of people like that. That's why I tried to watch it. I tried to watch it. I couldn't get into it though.
Have you ever heard of one called Outlaw Star? Like I
I've been
watched that
meaning to
years
watch
and
that
years
one.
ago. I
That's one
watched
that's
it
on my
when
list.
I watched that one years and years ago, but every time I bring it up, like nobody's ever heard of that one. I was like, I know, no, seriously, it's real. It's pretty good actually. When you get around to it, that one's actually a really good series.
Yeah, that's one that's popped up as a recommend several times from one of my author friends.
And Fist of the North Star. I love that one too. I love the comics and I love the series.
Oh, two of the contributors, like just a couple weeks ago, were telling me, "No, you should see this. You should see this." As Nathan Dabney and JD Cohen were both like, "Oh, this. You have to see this." So I was okay. I found the first episode online somewhere. And it's like came back. Yeah, you guys were right.
But yeah, I love Fist of the North Star. That's one of my favorites. Okay. You're stranded on a deserted island. What three things do you take with you?
Oh man, I don't know anything about survival skills, so
Just go with like the fantasy answers. Like, what three things would you take with you? Pretend that all the food and the water and everything is all taken care of.
oh, oh gosh. Well, some sort of knife would be a necessity. Um, man, um, okay, it's off the top of my head. Sounds kind of like might be stupid. Some sort of blanket because I'm sure I'd get cold. Um, let's see, maybe a lighter.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I should have better answers. I just one of the last books I read my kids was Tarzan of the Apes.
Oh, cool.
Just remember how what did they do to survive in the for the at the beginning after they were stranded.
They got Edgar's Wright Burroughs to make up all this stuff so they didn't have to. Let's move on to the next question then. Okay, your favorite vacation spot?
Home.
Definitely.
I'm not much for traveling.
Yeah, me neither. I always like to say staycation. Like
Yes.
I'm practically shut in. I mean, let's put it like that. I'm like, thank God for the internet. Like that's like most of my social interaction is online.
Oh, yep.
I'm just one of those kind of guys. Okay, you meet your 13-year-old self. What advice do you give the younger you?
Start writing now.
Good advice. Okay, you good to have dinner with any historical figure. Who is it, and what do you ask them?
Ooh. Oh man, that's such a tough one for like for somebody who likes history to answer. Um, I guess off the top of my head, let's go kind of off the wall. I'll say Vlad the Impaler.
Oh, well, that would be interesting. That would be a very interesting conversation.
Oh
Just don't
yes,
eat anything that don't eat anything that he like offers you. It could be like a blood in it or something.
no, he's an interesting figure historically.
Yeah, actually, he is. He was he was the only he could he was the only ruler that like took on the Turks and actually would like win.
Yeah,
So
and if I recall correctly, he's also the only like Eastern ruler who wanted to help out with the Crusades, but couldn't because of all the insanity surrounding his own kingdom and all
that's
the
right.
internal
That's right.
workings. And yeah,
That is right. All right. You find that genie's lamp. What three things do you wish for?
oh man, that's another tough one. I don't do much of like just think about wishes. I guess off the top of my head, enough money that I wouldn't have to work a day job anymore. That'd be a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Um, a car that wouldn't break down.
Huh. That's good. I like that.
Let's see. Man, that covers a lot. Man, that third one's really elusive. Um,
A million more wishes.
yeah, go for
Mm-hmm.
the cheat wish. Um, man, I'm really stuck on coming up with a third one. Uh, I guess the ability to write and think quicker, perhaps.
Oh yeah, I like that.
I have so many ideas, but so little time. Like like to get some writing done, like I'll stay up like an hour after everybody else is asleep just so I can get something written.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I do my best writing at like probably midnight. Like I'll sleep and then I'll wake up at like midnight to like 2 or 3 in the morning, and that's when I do like all my writing because that it's like dead quiet and you can actually really think.
Yeah,
I get that sure. So are you one of those writers that like you are you like me? You have to have like silence to do it because I know some writers can write to music.
I used to be able to do that. I can't anymore. I need some level of quiet. Like editing, I can have some noise going, but like the actual like first draft process, nah, I need general quiet.
Yeah, me too. I always envy the ones that, like writers that can write when they're like, oh yeah, I can just put on like music. I can put out like I make a soundtrack for everything, but I listen to that soundtrack when I'm not writing because I can't do it when I'm actually writing. But I
Yeah,
always envy the writers that I know. They're like, oh yeah, I'm turning on this song or this album and I'm writing away, and I'm like, how can you do that? But
I
I
just
can't even run
type
a
out the
TV song.
lyrics or something. It's like, oh no, I didn't mean to write that.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, I get what you say about the faster from your mind to like the keyboard or the paper, because a lot of times I'll get like ideas or I'll get like you get like the perfect scene, the perfect paragraph, perfect dialogue, whatever. And then as soon as you sit down, it's like gone. And you're all like, it was there 2 seconds ago, and
Yep.
something in that transition from like thinking of it to like getting it on the keyboard. is elusive. Like the muse is very, very tricky that way. So I definitely understand that wish of being able to like have like no filter between the brain and the final product. So is there going to be follow up to Rock and Roll Mercenaries?
There is no planned follow up. But that doesn't mean it won't happen.
Hmm.
This one was a lot of fun.
What's
I think
next
a lot of,
for NR LaPoint?
I'm currently editing the Virgil Everness stories. So that'll be coming out. I'm hoping before Halloween.
Cool. I'd like to
I'm
read
also,
that.
oh, sorry, what?
I'd like to read. Is that your collection that you were talking about earlier?
Yes, it's going to be that first story from Shoot the Devil and 8 more original stories.
Oh yeah, I'd like to read that one. I really like that story from Shoot the Devil. That was really good.
Thank you. I'm
Yeah, I'd
also
like to
working
read
on
that.
a lot of I guess some people would probably say it's like middle grade stories. Basically, they're like middle grade chapter book length. So basically novelettes for like all ages. So I have a bunch of those with my copy editor right now. And some of them I've written with my kids, which has
Oh,
been
that's
a lot of
cool.
fun. One of them in particular, I told them, okay, guys, come up with a character, each of you, and we'll outline a story. And so one of them, they outlined the whole thing, that like it's their story, their characters, and I went
That's
back
cool.
and wrote it, which was probably the hardest thing I've ever written, because this is like how old were they? They were when we first did this, like 5 and 7 maybe. So it just has that like bonkers, like off the wall kid, like boy mentality, uh the kind of like the like X cop stuff, where it's just
Oh yeah,
completely
yeah. I
insane.
remember
But I
X.
had to like fill in the blanks. Like, okay, how do they get from this to this in a way that in a manner that actually flows in a story?
That's awesome, though. Also, getting the next generation interested in the creative process and in writing and reading. So you're
Oh
accomplishing
yeah,
a lot there. That is so cool.
oh yeah. My
That's
my
absolutely
oldest
cool.
is a voracious reader already.
That is so cool. I wish more parents. That should be a lesson to parents everywhere because we need more readers out there. We need more people interested in books and reading and learning. Any shout outs you want to give?
Everybody in this anthology, really. Like it's uh, as I said, it's a lot of fun, and I think I get the impression that everybody really enjoyed contributing to it. Um, I know Nathan Dabney, the guy who did the opening quote unquote track, was very
Mm-hmm.
very enthusiastic about it, and his story is a lot of fun. Oh, hold on, computer froze for a second there. Um, yeah, TJ Marquis, Christopher Deneau, Milton Lane, Aaron Van Treek, JD Cohen, who I've mentioned a bunch of times, Jacob Kalta. I know he was pretty excited about this, and we talked about album art, and his story dealt with album art in
Yeah,
like such a unique way.
I think that
Uh,
was my second favorite story. I really, really liked that one a lot.
yeah, that one
That was
was like
very, very good.
crazy. Um, oh, that's right, the supersonic voyage of the rock dinosaurs.
Yes,
Was
that was such a fun story.
That one was actually uh one that was actually uh the two authors there are the pen names of my boys.
Oh, cool. Oh,
They
I
help,
can see it. I
you know,
can
they
see like the. Oh yeah, now that I know that, I can see like the kidness of it. You know what I'm saying? I can see
yes.
the. Oh,
So
absolutely.
they helped write that one.
Oh, that's
Uh
cool.
Michael Gallagher, of course, which it's too bad he had such bad technical
Yeah, I
difficulties.
know.
John Pretorius, Denton Saul. Uh, his story is funny because I told him to I told him to write that story. Like
Oh,
he
cool.
didn't want to write one. I said, no, yeah, you should totally just write a story about a panda who fights uh, fights like evil wizards. And so he gives me a story about a panda that fights evil wizards. Yeah, Jack McLeod, Hawking's Austin, Eric Wang. I love when I read Eric's story. I was like that last line that is capping off the anthology. I love that last like bam at the end. This one's for you.
Perfect. Perfect, Captain. Where can people find you online?
Mostly Twitter at NR LaPoint. Mostly posting goofy stuff or interacting with my author friends.
That's pretty cool. Right. Well, I want to thank you for being a guest tonight, Nate.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
It was really, really fun. It was really, really fun talking to you.
Yeah.
I hope my goofy questions, especially the lightning round nerd questions, weren't too crazy. I look forward to having you on the show again when your next project comes out. Don't forget, everyone, to head on over to Amazon and check out Rock and Roll Mercenaries. And if you've enjoyed tonight's show, remember, like, share, subscribe to Critical Blast on YouTube. And that's it for tonight. The damn show is done. Bye, everyone.